What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I think we are live here, streaming to you on Tuesday night. Should be good to go. No, this is not the bounty I wanted to do. We had a crazy couple days here, crazy 24 hours, 48 hours with the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum taking quite a dip. Flash crash is hitting some people harder than others. Yeah, we're going here. How long do I have before my bounties run out? I have 2 days. I think we're going to be able to get them done, but we're going to have to see. I want to go full loadout this time. I'm feeling good, so we're going Mount All Keth runs tonight. Gonna be grinding some items, that's for sure. Looks like we have a little bit of drop frames. Might need to go live again real quick. Let's see if the stream lightens up a little bit. Okay, bear with me 1 second, guys. It says I'm experiencing some stream issues. Let me know how it looks on your all's end. If I need to do a quick little restart, we'll make it happen. So, let's get the show on the road, shall we? Should we go Void Ripper tonight? We should go Void Ripper Dark Scourge, old school style. Egg, and we're gonna go Archer Ring. Now I just gotta change up the tools and to make sure I take my bombs with me. I like to take 2 just in case if I hit a rock early on, I don't have to come back here. I can just keep running. Take 1 less item out of the dungeon, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work, shall we? How are y'all doing tonight so far? Anybody getting any lucky drops yet? Probably we're going to do a quick run before we get into the discussion for the night. We need to talk about this ETH flash crash and Kraken and what it means for the overall market. We're on day 3 rewards here, so we're going for the 300 bounty bucks. The Void Goat with the Void Ripper. Let's go. Are the pets limited and unlimited? Actually, I was doing a little research on pets the other day. It turns out that a vast majority of them are infinite. You know, the reward, it looks like the reward pets that come with like leveling up, like I would probably say like between your level 1 and level 30, I would assume. It says that those can be crafted, you know, based on level up, so, or minted, I'm sorry, based on level up. So that's interesting, because I guess that can also mean that it could be very expensive. I'm not sure how the minting fees currently work. That's an area that I need to go ahead and research some more, especially for the upcoming gaming project on Engine that I want to launch. It's funny how all these things align, because I've been talking about doing this project, been talking about reaching out to some artists, and then I come across one of my old friends on Twitter earlier. I was like, what a coincidence, I was just thinking about you. Hopefully we get something good here, Pete. Hopefully we get something good here. The new numbers on the game, it was like 4,000, nearly 200 players have logged in since the beginning of the month. All-time record. Looks like another item just sold on the market. When you ever hear that ding, Engine Marketplace just had some activity. Or I get a personal DM on Telegram. I'll let you know. Doesn't look like it was a Lost Relics item. I think it was a Binance NFT that just sold. Let's see. Blockchain items are great, but honestly I'm seeing more of the virtual stuff drop. But seeing more of the virtual stuff drop would be... Yeah, it's interesting. Now I think with this new update, I can see like a future game world where where blockchain item weapons, like maybe they're not going to be a bunch of blockchain weapons. Maybe what are minted for, at least for now, for this iteration or this phase of the game, might not be any more, and that means the majority of players will have to go off of virtual items, which means gold is going to become more and more precious, because if you lose those virtual items in the dungeon, you're going to be set back quite a bit in terms of gold wealth, you know? So I think that's something really interesting to keep a note on, to keep an eye on. I was always under the assumption that as the game grew, he might like mint more in a certain class to be able to balance it out, keep it balanced. But now I'm kind of thinking like, I mean, yes, that he could do that, but he could also choose not to and build a game world where these professions actually bring you enough gold to continue supporting the game, which means the in-game economy as opposed to the outside economy, the blockchain economy. We could say blockchain economy and virtual economy for the in-game virtual state. We had another item just sell on the market. The first one, oh no, not sell. I'm sorry, they're getting listed. They're getting listed. So that means fees are low right now. If fees are low, let's check out what the ETH gas fee is really fast. Yeah, I mean it's 138 on the low end. Let me do something real fast. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm coming back. As long as I'm not dying in the dungeon, give me a second. I'm posting real quickly to Twitter real fast about the stream. All right, there we go. So let's continue. Where did we leave off? Where did we leave off? Get my stream set up right. Okay, so let's take off the glasses. We don't need the glasses right now. Got to rest the eyes a little bit. So y'all doing good? You doing good so far? Got distracted there on the topic, so we gotta bring it back in. Yeah, the in-game world, that's where we were at. The in-game virtual economy. I mean, it could be really interesting, and if that's the case, like the blockchain items that are farmed right now would be even more valuable, you know? I guess when you think blockchain gaming, like if you understand like how to apply some of the concepts to gaming, I guess the first thing you think of is everything being digitized, everything being created an NFT for, right? Every single aspect of the game, every single item of the game, which is totally possible. But like right now, for what crypto's able to do, what Ethereum's be able to do, the transaction fees are not going to allow for that. So that's a potential workaround. Now it would probably be a little harder to manage it because you're going to have to manage both the in-game gold generation and the exterior, the crypto versus like engine adoption. So it might be a little harder, might present a little bit more of a challenge, but we're navigating a brand new space. So how exactly this goes down, developers and gamers are going to be building it together. That's the crazy thing, right? It's like devising, right? It's like this. It's this dance between the developer and the gamers. You know, a lot of people are a lot of people wonder, what developers are thinking when they're creating their games, and what they intend for players to do, right? Like, I mean, gamers even go down to the nitty gritty of like, okay, they increase the bullet velocity on a certain gun by like a factor of 0.13, so that means they want to make sure that like SMGs versus ARs are more, you know, powerful in certain situations. Like gamers can go to that level of nitty gritty. Like, oh, my attack animation on my swing for the Dark Scourge right now is like, 3 frames too slow compared to the previous update. Like, I mean, gamers are naturally analytical beings because, I mean, honestly, it's because since this medium is so brand new, we're learning. It's growing as we speak. So like the language that's developed between the gamer and the developer, there's like some natural tendencies that gamers always do that it's because growing up gaming, we were learning a new language, this new dance between the player and the interactive software, So it can be. You have to understand it's extremely fluid because not only is cryptocurrency developing, like gaming in its own right is developing. Then add to all of it, this new idea of the play to earn model. Gamers being rewarded for playing games, for the development of the network's growth. That's why the concept of Engine right now is so alluring, because it's literally is a network. Built by gamers for gamers, right? And yes, there's going to be other networks just like it, but the community within Engine has had how many years now of since the ICO boom? They do have a lead in terms of player adoption, but there's a lot of new competition out there right now, especially in the NFT space. So we're gonna have to see what the future holds. But the one thing I feel comfortable in is picking for the gems from the rough, right? Like finding lost relics, for example. Claim your daily prize. All right, let's get our 300 bounty bucks for day 3, and let's move further closer to the Transcendent, the Executioner. The group did pretty good. We got 11 rocks. We killed 20 creepers. Got a few blockchain items. 2 blockchain items. Oh, I don't have. That's why I didn't do this one. That Olsful. That. Darn it. That's why I hadn't done this quest yet. Well, I'll have to buy it off the Engine Marketplace then if I want to complete it. I think, right now fees are high, and that's obviously holding some players back. But it's been a lot of discussion on what the future holds, like what the future of scaling holds, and like I don't think it's a coincidence that these other scaling projects are starting to come online at roughly the right time, because generally speaking, when scaling, we always knew scaling was going to be an issue, but when it started to really touch people, a few years back, once we started, the idea of CryptoKitties clogging up the network and gaming clogging up the network, once that became a reality, people all around the world, all these different projects started working on solutions, and now you see the fruits of that labor, like Loopring coming out, and Axie Infinity with Ronin, and a bunch of different layer 2 solutions are going online. It just reminds me of the gaming ecospace. It reminds me of the gaming industry, like the video game industry, because it reminds me of the video game industry because it's secular, right? So like the release of new consoles coming out every 3, 5, 7 years, whatever you want to say. It puts developers of video games into like these like constant struggles, like for meeting deadlines and budgets, right? So like you realize you have a 3-year window for development followed by a 1-year window for launch. Everything's so time based. And that's so it's hard to marry sometimes with the gaming industry, because at the end of the day, a majority of these developers are artists, right? So an artistic work is very difficult to budget and plan out, like if it was an assembly line with Floor, you know what I mean? it's more free flowing and it needs to be allowed to adapt. Not adapt, but it's got to be the artistic version of the development process needs to be flushed out more, and businesses should place a premium, I think personally, in the art side of it. That's what I think is so fascinating by a lot of these new games, you know, Lost Relic being one of them, that there's talented developers that have used the skills that they've learned over the past, whatever, 10, 15 years in the industry to create a high quality game first. You know, and I say high quality with this game even being in access because it may not translate you watching this on screen versus you playing this, but the game has a very arcadey feel. It does make you reminisce, and it does feel retro. It does feel, you know, like you're playing in Space Invaders in the you know, in the arcade or whatnot. It does. You get in these zones where it's just like everything's clicking. You see the enemy. You understand how long it takes to make your move. You regen your potion. You know, you can get into the zone, and that's what makes it feel so good. The feel is huge. So let's see. Chat question for, it looks like a new player. If you're trying to earn engine right now and you can't, if you're having fun playing the game and building up items and account for later, then I wouldn't worry about it, because who knows what the process will be then. So I think that the conversation is coming up a little bit about a lot of new gamers. You know, when someone new is coming into new software, you know, they're learning as they go. Every developer does their own type of creation process. So a lot of these players may not understand immediately how the game flow is occurring. I mean, and is evolving. But the way you see it is that with every new round of player adoption, so when the first 500 players were playing, you know, you had a certain type of release for items, right? Of course, they were very good items because they were the very beginning of the game. As the next wave came in, they migrated to the next wave. So you go from the transcendent rarity class, which is this one, which, you know, into the mythical class, which are these, right? Into the legendary class, which are these. And the thing new players need to understand is that if you're grinding right now, you're dropping and you're collecting these items. So yeah, some of these items might not be able to be sold right now, and the reason why could be that you don't have a rare item yet, or that the item that you do have doesn't quite merit the fees yet, even though there's some demand for it. The fees are very high on Ethereum. But the thing you need to realize is where the profit is being made right now is players that come in, they grind for like a special event, they get all of that loot, you know, that may not be able to be sold at the minute, and they check back in 6 months when the new update comes out, or 3 months when a new update comes out. And now the new players that have joined the game have taken so many new items off the market that the items that they grinded for that 1 month are now extremely valuable, you know, going down the rarity class. How are we doing on the stream, guys? It looks like I've dropped a few frames here or there, but I don't think it's too severe where I need to worry about the stream just yet. Let me know how the stream's going and how the audio is sounding. But yeah, let's check back in with the chat real quick. Let's see what else. That explains the whole system. The game is amazing. It's not the game's fault. What is the torch for? Does it really matter if it's the game's fault or not? The question asked was pretty straightforward, regardless of the reason why. If you're trying to earn engine right now, yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to explain. Let me see. It's hard for me to explain in chat just because it's a very complex answer. And a one sentence response sometimes, you know, will marry. Well, let's go ahead. So there's my 2 sentence response. I think it was maybe get right down to the core of it, hopefully. Oh, and for all you new players, I definitely recommend checking out the Lost Relics wiki. Oh, we should also put that in chat. By someone other if they could earn engine from the game. Okay, so Plato gets it. He's talking about someone else. So now that we're, you know, a good few minutes into the stream, we got a few viewers going on. Let's talk a little bit about this. Yes, let's talk a little bit about this ETH flash crash that just occurred. This correction that we're currently going through. I'll let you know my initial reaction to it. You could judge based on what you were feeling at the time. So, you know, going into the crash, I was extremely bullish. I had actually heard that Alex Saunders of Nuggets News had stated that he was getting out of the market because he was feeling it was a little too frothy right now, which I, you know, in retrospect definitely agree with him. But I heard that news and I came to the logic. I came to the conclusion that I believe that we have a very good. I guess there's a little server lag right now with all the new players. We'll have to come back to this item. Oh, there it is. It came out. And no blockchain item. We're cool. All right, so a lot of new players. Or I'm sorry. What Alex was saying was that he was absolutely correct. He predicted the crash. Now, I mean, some could say that he has a lot of followers, so some could say that you know, his community understood what he was trying to say, you know, agreed with his thought process, you know, trusted in him as well, and decided to make their exit as well. You know, we never know. You know, that's complete speculation. I don't believe. Well, we just don't know how people in the crypto markets react. So. I was extremely bullish, so I got a little bit hurt by it. But I bought the dip, right? And I bought the dip around 1,700. It had crashed down to 700 on Kraken, down to 1,500. It came down to 1,500 like on Coinbase. It popped back up before I had a chance to buy it, and then I bought it at 1,700. It's come down since then. But it looks like it's trying to attempt to make a double or maybe even a triple bottom here. That'll give it some strength to be able to continue forward. Why do I see... Is there a door here? Oh, there is a door. I just walked right by it. I just came to the realization... Or I just came to the understanding that I believe that at the end of the year, regardless, by December, Engine's going to be... I mean, Ethereum's going to be significantly higher here, and so is Bitcoin. So I don't want to play games with like testing the market and like trying to predict getting out. I'd rather predict getting into the market because I still believe the overall market is trending up. You know, if I get out and I'm wrong and then the market takes off, like that's crypto that I may never get again because the prices could potentially jump so much. I mean, we saw Bitcoin jump 10,000 in a day. We saw Ethereum jump $700 in a day. You know, if you're moving a lot of money, if you're making big trades at that time, it could come back to bite you. Could come back to bite you. We might need to switch it up here because I'm not sure with the gas fees right now if I'm going to be able to buy that item that I need. So I did a little bit of mount runs. Now I probably need to switch to either swamps or trials so that I can go ahead and harvest some other items for other quests, for other bounties, I should say. Ooh, there it is. Ooh, that's new. I'd never seen that before. Destructible virtual. Nice. Raw Odom's heart. So now I have a claw and I have a heart. I have the legendary claw. I have multiple legendary claws. I think I feel pretty confident, like understanding what the value of these blockchain items right now are, and we're in a really unique situation because buying is being held back. There's like, you know, it's being forced to hold because no one wants to pay those extra fees. It's not about the we'll come to Kenzie right now. But the game overall, like, in terms of what it provides, the value that it provides to gamers, not only as on blockchain items, I'm just